Alright, hi guys. Been a while. So, gotta fuel out my car first. Then I'm gonna talk about Bilstein B6. Oh. Okay, so hi guys. It's been a while I'm fueling my car. There's something inside there. Something interesting I want to show you all. I've actually just installed the Bilstein B6 absorber, front and rear, one set. To my F20. And of course, most of y'all would be wondering why I did not go for the Bilstein B8. Generally, you should know that B6 and B8 is technically the same, just as a matter of fact that the Bilstein B8 usually uses a much lower springs than your your stock springs. So those who wants to upgrade their absorber and feel like you want to reduce your body roll while maintaining its height, then I would say that this Bilstein B6 is like the best street performance absorber lah. Yep, just service my car actually. So as you all can see, the V-Power Racing oil is blue in color. It's not red. So what I'm trying to say here is that it does not mean that just because it's red, the nozzle head is red, it's blue. Oh my god. So since I just serviced the car, might as well I want to fuel out with some nice fuel. Okay. Alright, so what is it like to what it's like to drive the F20 with the Bilstein B6? So let me just remind you all that when you install a Bilstein B6 absorber, you are not supposed to change your springs. By that I mean not to upgrade your springs to a lower sport springs whatsoever, because if you do have a lower springs or a sport springs installed in your car, then the best option would be the Bilstein B8. You see, I don't have the buck to spend on springs, sport springs, and I'm the type of person who wants to keep it as stock as possible. So, but recently one of my front absorber, the stock M Sport absorber, was just, you know, can't be used anymore lah. So I was trying to look for alternatives at the same time. If it's like an upgrade, of course it'd be like interesting like. We are going to be testing how it's like, how bumpy it is. So you see the red line here? Oh my god, I swear to god that the difference with the M Sport absorber, this feels so much better. I can't deny the fact that it's firm, but the rebound is just perfect for this car. At one point you just feel like your backside can actually handle this firmness. So I would say in the long drive, most probably you won't be having that much of a problem. but let's see lah. I mean, it's just like around, it has been around 14 kilometers since I drove this car with the Bilstein B6, but so far so good. Of course, I do expect to feel a little bit more firmness due to the fact that I've actually installed a round flat tire for this car, you know. So those who feel like, oh, my car is too firm, but I'm actually wanting to have a more comfort driving experience, I would say don't go for RFT, round flat tires. It's just not good, you know. Of course, there are some benefits of owning using an RFT, but during this pandemic, actually, I would say a waste of money, unless if you have done your research and you feel like, okay, this is the tire that I've been wanting for so long, then go ahead, you know, nothing's stopping you. But without an RFT, it does not necessarily mean that you'll get a tire puncture instantly or what, you know. I mean, it depends on where you live, what type of road surface your car has to like go through on a daily basis. You should be take it into account, because different people, they live different places. So driving at the speed of 90 kilometers per hour, taking a little bit curvy roads like this, I think it really makes me feel so much more confident. Let's try 100, 105. Let's take the corner smoothly. Yep, I can definitely feel that it does have less body roll. You go through the yellow lines, yeah, you still can feel it's firm lah. So far my stock springs are in good condition, but even if it's worn out, I don't think I'll be upgrading to any sport springs, lowering springs. Okay, it feels really good, steady. Yup, I think this Bilstein B6 does excel most on the B roads lah. Although I've never tested this car on any other B roads before, because yeah lah, you can't even go to Genting now due to the pandemic and the lockdown. I think it's rather much more compromising in a sense. So so far I would say I'm very satisfied with the setup. It's not like a huge upgrade, but to me it's definitely better than original. I mean, that is what Bilstein claim their V6. So when I was looking at their page, they were like, oh, okay, Bilstein better than original. I mean, sometimes it can be a sales gimmick, but this ain't a sales gimmick. This is a real thing. It's a real deal, good deal, you know. One thing about these street performance dampers or shock absorbers is that it comes from a different price range, which means that if you're looking for a Bilstein B6 and for a different segment, let's say lah, different segment, different brand, different car manufacturer, the price is not going to be the same, you know. By that I mean, like, okay, for example, I have a cousin who installed his Bilstein B8. It doesn't matter, B8 or B6, the price is the same. But yeah, he's using Bilstein B8, and his price was like about 1,000 ringgit less. But you see, they are actually giving you the same amount of performance, same type of damper, shock absorbers, you know. But yeah, so that is what makes it rather different. But other than that, it's technically the same. So like in this case, in my case, this F20 is rather a bit pricey, but I'm happy with it, you know. So if you're looking for like a Bilstein B6 B8 absorber, then it would probably cost you around ranging from 3004 to 3009. But I would say just go for those below 3008 lah, if possible, because this is all just the dampers, you know. We don't know how much, like we don't know whether like your car, your F20, your 1 Series might want to like change its mounting as well, and etc. So best to look for the good deal lah. So far in the market, I can see that it costs around 3004 to 3009. But but those who have, let's say, if you have seen a Bilstein B6 for F20 which costs around 4,000, I don't know, I've never seen that before. But if it's more than 3008, best not to go for it. I mean, it's quite expensive. So yeah, okay, now I mean like in a normal kind of road, not too bumpy, driving at a speed of 100. Magnificent, absolutely amazing. Yup, it's just lovely, you know. It's lovely. Let's just try to drop gears a little bit and try to like feel a bit. Nice. One thing you should know is that at a certain mileage or certain amount of age of your car, you really have to look at your suspension. It doesn't matter lah whether you change to stock suspension or performance suspension, whatsoever, doesn't matter. As long as you check and you replace what is needed to be replaced, then your car is as healthy as how it should be. Whenever you're okay, this is like some pro tip to those who's currently planning to get a second-hand car, a used car, or even a recon car, an imported continental Japanese cars. It is very vital for you to see, or maybe have your mechanic to check the suspension, so at least you know how bad it is if you were to go out for a drive, take out for a spin. And not just that, once you know that your absorbers are bad, you can't blame the first owner or the dealer. No, you can't blame them, because they are just there selling the car, and that does not mean that the car is in bad condition. This is all part of wear and tear. Right, you just saw what type of road I went through just now. Yeah, it's like a bit of the yellow bumpy kind of thing. It feels absolutely fine, amazing. So yeah, back at where we were just now. Just make sure, no matter what car you buy, used car, make sure you check your suspension setup. If it needs to be replaced, don't wait, because otherwise it can be dangerous for you to drive the car. Doesn't matter what car. So far the ride is comfortable to a point that you feel like, oh, I'm using normal stock springs lah. But you can feel the sportiness. You can feel that sporty driving experience once you drive, you know, when you're driving. Okay, see, you can hear that you can feel that it's firm, but it's reasonably firm and also comfortable. It's worth buying a Bilstein B8 with sports lowering springs such as the A-Buck and also the Bilstein. So together it is equivalent to a B12 suspension setup. So the question is it worth spending a Bilstein B6 for your stock daily driven car? I would say yes, but I'm still in the midst of adapting to this setup. I mean, it's not like a huge setup, but it does feel rather different than the M Sport stock absorber. It has made me feel like I'm driving a sports hatchback with such great balance front and rear, especially when I'm taking corners. I haven't taken any sharp corners at a high speed yet, but it does handles well. Less body roll definitely. But if you're like the type of person who expects more than just a reduction in body roll and a sporty experience, then I would say go for the Bilstein B8 together with the lowering springs. We can look for a H&R or A-Buck, which makes it equivalent to a B12 suspension setup. Yep. And if you feel like you're not that type of crazy person who wants to go Genting every day or wants to go Sepang on a daily or on a monthly basis, or if you're like a really hardcore motorsportsman and always want to go Sepang for track day and all, I think best for you to go for B8 B12 setup, that's for sure. But if you were to be just driving in the streets, you want some you want to like make use of the power you have in your engine and like to like maximize it while taking corners at a very high speed, then I would say go for it. Go for this Bilstein B6. Oh my god, it does handles very well. Much better than my M Sport stock absorber. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed and learned at least something from this video. Don't forget to share and like, comment for any suggestions for the upcoming videos, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest videos. And I really hope that you are all safe out there, and stay tuned. See you soon. Bye bye. Let it go.